Student success begins with me. I believe that when students come to me, they're looking for a quality education, and it's my job to help to deliver that. I know that they play a role in the learning process, but it's my job to provide them with every support possible and to believe in them that they truly can succeed.
What's vital for student success is for us to be able to realize that it's our responsibility as faculty members to communicate the information and the course content in a way that's interesting to the student. I think part of the challenge is students do not know what the expectations are. They do not know how to achieve them.
We can teach them how to build a toolkit that is in their heads, that's transportable and it's applicable to a variety of different circumstances in a variety of different settings and places, that's going to be useful to them over the course of their entire adult lives.
I'm a facilitator. I'm not the all-wise, omniscient one who comes and you sit at my feet while I share knowledge with you. I don't see that as my role. It really, again, it's create a learning community where we can all learn from one another.
We have to move away and are moving away from the idea of the lecture hall. The sooner we get them working with materials that force them to think about what something means, how it functions, and how they interact with it, the better off we are.
I find that we have to really appeal to different types of students, populations, different types of ways that students learn.
It doesn't just have to be a teacher-student kind of relationship that occurs in a classroom. When you foster a positive classroom environment, they need to understand that there's multiple resources in that class, including each other.
So as I move from that lecture style methodology to engaging the student in active learning, collaborative learning, getting them involved in it, I've just seen tremendous gains in my students' success.
I am not a techie. I'm not at all, but I am a risk taker. I actually had a student come up to me and say, hey, have you ever heard of this Edmodo program? And I said, no, but let's learn. And I am using it this semester to create a learning environment that's virtual for my students that are also meeting face-to-face. And so we're actually going to explore it as a tool for teaching, almost like a research project within our class.
I contact professionals that I know within the community who are practicing. So I invite them to come in, and then they actually role play. They kind of act out a client. And I think it builds that relationship with the students, and it really allows them to really be engaged, because the professionals get the role play from the cases that they currently have.
I'm going to refer to an old Native American saying which says, tell me and I forget, show me and I remember, and involve me and I understand.
Give me your input and we can sort of determine collectively how we're going to learn this material, enabling the students to some extent chart the course of the class.
We have a degree of flexibility in how we define our topics, so that we're sort of listening to our students and hearing what they want, and then conceptualizing courses that sort of retain sort of vigor and rigor on one side, but also sort of go to the places that they're most compelled to be.
If we divide the class into different types of activities and different learning to appeal to different critical thinking, some concrete thinking, some evaluative type of thinking, I think that that really allows students to be successful because it's engaging.
We only have them precious hours. And I want to make sure that the hours that I have is associated with learning in some way, shape, or form. And it always doesn't have to be academic. Learning can also be relational. All of that is going back to the fact that good teaching is the teaching that meets students'